After years of quiet avoidance, I recently made a decision I once dreaded: to finally write my will and healthcare directives. It wasn't easy, and I know many of you might be in the same boat, putting off what feels like an uncomfortable conversation. Perhaps you, like me, have always believed there was plenty of time, or that your family would simply know what you wanted. But I've learned that the invisible weight of an undecided future can become a heavy burden, not just for us, but for those we love most. Before you continue to delay, I want to share 4 hard truths I wish someone had told me sooner. Truths that finally compelled me to act. Because, as I discovered, these aren't just documents. They're the blueprint for your legacy and your final act of love. The truth is, ignoring estate planning isn't just about avoiding paperwork. It's about unintentionally setting the stage for confusion, conflict, and immense stress for your loved ones. Once a crisis hits, or you're no longer able to make decisions for yourself, getting things in order becomes infinitely more difficult, if not impossible. These are insights that might surprise you, and if you know someone considering their future, this video might be exactly what they need to hear before making a life-changing decision by inaction. Stay with me until the end, because understanding these truths can change everything. Hard truth 1, the illusion of time. For years, I told myself there was always later. Later, I'd sit down and sort out my will. Later, I'd talk to my children about my health preferences. Later, when I wasn't so busy, or when I felt a bit older, or when it just felt like the right time. Perhaps many of you are in that same boat, aren't you? We all have this universal tendency to push away difficult conversations, to believe that time stretches endlessly before us, offering an open-ended invitation to address life's more serious matters. But what I've learned, and what I deeply wish someone had impressed upon me sooner, is that later is a trap, a false comfort that can carry an incredibly steep price. Imagine this. One moment, you're living your life, perhaps enjoying a quiet afternoon, and the next, a sudden unforeseen event changes everything. A fall, a sudden stroke, an unexpected diagnosis that leaves you incapacitated, unable to communicate your wishes. The doctors need to make immediate decisions, and your family, reeling from the shock, is left to guess. They look at each other, desperate, wondering what you would have wanted. Did she ever talk about this? Would Dad have wanted life support? In that sterile hospital waiting room, where every minute feels like an hour, the capacity to make your own choices, to voice your desires, can vanish in an instant. Once that window closes, once you lose the ability to speak for yourself, that control is gone, often irreversibly. This isn't just about a potential crisis. It's about the very essence of genuine choice. True freedom and planning only exists when you are healthy, capable, and clear-minded. It's when you can sit comfortably, think through your values, and articulate exactly how you want your legacy handled and your final wishes respected. Once circumstance forces the issue, once that ticking clock stops unexpectedly, the power shifts away from you. So, I ask you now, honestly, are you truly prepared for the clock to stop ticking without your instructions clearly laid out? Are you ready to let others make critical decisions for you? Or do you want to ensure your voice, your choices, are heard no matter what tomorrow brings? Hard truth 2, the weight of undecided wishes. When I began this journey, reflecting on the reasons I finally decided to create my will and healthcare directives, this truth hit me with a profound weight. It's the immense stress and potential conflict you leave behind when your family is forced to guess your wishes. I've seen it. Watched families gather in dimly lit rooms, their faces etched with worry, trying to make impossible decisions for a loved one who could no longer speak for themselves. The emotional toll of choosing on behalf of someone else without clear guidance is agonizing. Imagine the agony of having to decide if your parent, your spouse, your sibling should continue life support. It's a burden no one should have to carry alone. But it's not just about life and death decisions. Think about a family home, cluttered with a lifetime of memories, now the subject of unspoken tension. I've heard countless stories, or seen glimpses of them in the eyes of friends. Siblings disagreeing vehemently over inheritance, a cherished antique, or even the details of a funeral. Without a clear will, a house can become truly divided. That beautiful old grandfather clock, the one that chimed for generations, suddenly becomes a point of contention between two loving children, each believing it was promised to them. That quiet, loving bond can fracture, turning affection into resentment, all because a few simple documents were never written. Your silence, in these moments, speaks volumes, but not the ones you intended. Then there's the silence of your suffering. This is where healthcare directives become profoundly important. Picture a sterile hospital room, the rhythmic beeping of machines the only sound. Your loved one is there, perhaps in a coma or a vegetative state, unable to communicate. Now, your family faces the cruelest dilemma. Do they continue aggressive treatments, even if it prolongs suffering? Do they make the choice to let go? Without your voice, without a clear living will or advance directive, they are forced to play God, wrestling with moral and emotional burdens that can haunt them for years. I've come to understand that clearly stating your preferences for dignity and peace of mind isn't just for you. It's a final, compassionate act to spare your family this anguish. So, I ask you, what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? A legacy of clarity and peace, where your loved ones can honor your wishes without doubt, or one filled with confusion, potential conflict, and lasting pain? Preparing your will and healthcare directives isn't a morbid task. It's a profound act of love and care. It's giving your family the ultimate gift, the comfort of knowing they are following your heart. Are you prepared to give them that peace? Or will you let the future remain a painful question mark? Think about it. Because once you're gone, that opportunity to speak your final wishes is gone forever. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Now, let's move forward to Hard Truth 3. Now, let's talk about Hard Truth 3, the Unforeseen Medical Crossroads. It's easy to believe that if you're generally healthy or if your doctor visits are mostly routine, you have all the time in the world to consider future medical decisions. I certainly felt that way. I went for my annual checkups, kept active, and thought I was quite well for my age. But life has a way of reminding us of our vulnerability, often when we least expect it. A seemingly minor symptom, a sudden fall, or an unexpected test result can rapidly transform a routine day into a critical decision point. In an instant, you can find yourself facing complex medical choices, and the ability to make those decisions for yourself can disappear faster than you ever imagined. Our physical decline isn't always a gradual slope. Sometimes it's a sudden cliff. This is where the true challenge begins, when medical choices clash with your deepest values. When faced with a serious illness, doctors will often present options for aggressive treatments, life-sustaining machines, or feeding tubes. But what if prolonging life means prolonging suffering for you? What if your spiritual beliefs or personal sense of dignity mean you wouldn't want every possible intervention? These aren't easy questions, and they're not for anyone else to answer. These are profoundly personal decisions, choices about your comfort, your quality of life, and what a good death truly means to you. Only you can define these boundaries. Without your voice, clearly documented in a healthcare directive, who will speak for your values when you no longer can? And here's where it gets truly difficult for your family, the doing everything possible dilemma. When you haven't clearly stated your wishes, your loved ones are left in an agonizing position. They'll be pressured by their own grief, by the medical system, and by the powerful, often unspoken societal expectation to do everything possible. I've witnessed families, reeling from shock, insist on aggressive, painful treatments for a loved one, not because they knew it was what that person wanted, but because they couldn't bear the thought of not trying. Without your explicit instructions, medical teams will often default to maximal intervention, even if it leads to prolonged suffering rather than a peaceful passing. This isn't their fault. They're trying to save a life. But if that life is no longer one you'd wish to live, your silence becomes a heavy burden for everyone. But it doesn't have to be this way. When age isn't just a number, but a choice, you have the power to define what quality of life means to *you. Declining health doesn't mean declining value. and it certainly doesn't mean losing your voice. Healthcare directives are your declaration of what matters most: comfort, dignity, and a peaceful passing, if that is your wish. They ensure that if the time comes, your family and medical team aren't guessing. They know your red lines for medical intervention. Do you want to be kept on a ventilator indefinitely? Do you want a feeding tube if you can no longer swallow? These are tough questions, but answering them now is an act of profound self-respect and foresight. It allows you to decide how your final chapter unfolds, rather than having others decide for you. So, the price of silence in medical settings is clear. It's the loss of your say. Without a clear healthcare directive, your personal voice is lost in the bureaucracy of the medical system, leaving deeply personal decisions to default protocols or, even worse, to the conflicted emotions of your loved ones. Are you prepared to lose control over your own body and your own end-of-life care? Are you willing for your final days to be dictated by circumstance rather than by your conscious choice? Don't let your autonomy slip away. Taking the time to document your wishes is an urgent and empowering act, ensuring that your values are honored and your dignity protected, no matter what unforeseen medical crossroads you might encounter. We've talked about the illusion of time and the anguish of undecided wishes, but now we must confront a truth even more profound. Hard truth number 4, the irreversible legacy. When we consider our own mortality, it's not just about what happens to us, but what we leave behind. Once we are gone, the opportunity to clarify our wishes, to guide our loved ones, is lost forever. There is a finality to death that means the decisions made, or not made, in its shadow cast long, permanent echoes. These echoes can profoundly shape our families' relationships and their financial stability for years, even generations. Are you prepared for the lasting impact of your final, unchangeable legacy? One of the most painful echoes of inaction is the costly and emotionally draining journey through probate court. Without a will, your estate enters a legal process that can be lengthy, public, and expensive. I've seen families, already grieving, forced into a bureaucratic maze, their inheritance slowly eroded by legal fees, court costs, and taxes. What was intended as a comforting inheritance can become a source of immense financial strain and bitter resentment among siblings. Imagine your loved ones, instead of finding solace, finding themselves entangled in legal battles, fighting over assets or decisions that could have been clearly laid out. Is that the legacy you wish to leave? A legacy of courtrooms and conflict? But the financial drain isn't the only concern. The absence of a will means your intentions become entirely irrelevant. This is hard truth number 4 in action. The unintended beneficiary, the state. Without your explicit instructions, state laws of intestacy will dictate precisely how your assets are distributed. This often means that cherished friends, beloved partners not legally married, or even the charities close to your heart may receive nothing at all. Your property, your savings, your life's accumulation will be divided according to a rigid formula, not your personal wishes. Are you truly prepared to let a stranger, a government decree, decide the fate of everything you've worked for, potentially bypassing those you love most? Beyond money and property, there's another, often overlooked, aspect of our legacy, the sentimental. Our homes are filled with items that hold deep emotional value. Family heirlooms, old photographs, a favorite piece of jewelry, handwritten letters. These aren't just possessions. They are vessels of memory, stories, and connection. Without specific instructions in a will, these invaluable sentimental items can be lost, discarded, or become a source of unforeseen dispute among family members. A clear will ensures that these precious tokens of your life go to the individuals who will truly appreciate their history and emotional significance, preserving your personal narrative and the memories you've built. Ultimately, a properly executed will and healthcare directives are more than just documents. They are your final, unchangeable word. They are a powerful tool for self-expression, a declaration of your values, and a testament to your love and care for those you leave behind. This is your opportunity to shape your lasting impact, to offer clarity rather than confusion, and to gift peace instead of pain. Are you prepared to let your final words, your deepest wishes, go unsaid? Or will you seize this moment to ensure your voice is heard long after you are gone, leaving a legacy of intention and love? After hearing these hard truths, you might feel a knot of anxiety tighten in your stomach, perhaps even a sense of overwhelm. I understand that feeling deeply. For years, the idea of sitting down to write my will or my health directives felt like confronting a mountain. It seemed too complex, too morbid, too final. It was easy to put off, to tell myself, I'll get to it later. But here's what I learned. Starting is truly the hardest part. Once you take that first step, the path ahead begins to clear. This isn't about tackling an insurmountable task. It's about taking a series of thoughtful, manageable steps. Think of it as a journey towards ultimate peace of mind, not a single, daunting leap. And just like any journey, it becomes easier with each step you take, especially when you know you're moving towards a brighter, more secure future for yourself and your loved ones. So where do you begin? Forget the intimidating legal forms for a moment. The very first step is simply gathering your thoughts. Find a quiet, comfortable space, perhaps your favorite armchair with a notebook and a pen. Start by listing what matters most. Who do you want to care for your assets? What are your wishes for your medical care if you can no longer speak for yourself? This isn't about creating a legally binding document right away. It's about a personal reflection. What do you own? Who do you love? What kind of care do you truly want? Writing these things down, even in simple bullet points, can be incredibly clarifying. It's an opportunity to truly consider what gives your life meaning and how you want that meaning to continue, even when you're no longer here to guide it day to day. Once you've taken that initial step of reflecting on your wishes, the next important move is to seek expert guidance. I know, the thought of lawyers and financial advisors can feel intimidating, but it doesn't have to be. I found that consulting with an estate planning attorney and a financial advisor made the entire process so much clearer and less stressful. These professionals aren't there to complicate things. They're there to simplify them, to translate your heartfelt wishes into legally sound documents. They understand the intricacies of the law, the tax implications, and how to ensure your directives are honored. Think of them as experienced navigators, helping you chart a clear course so your intentions are perfectly understood and respected. It's an investment, yes, but an investment in your peace of mind and your family's future. Now, here's another crucial insight. Your will and healthcare directives are not set-it-and-forget-it documents. They are living documents meant to evolve with your life. Relationships change, assets shift, laws are updated, and your own wishes might mature over time. This is why it's so important to review and update them periodically. I now make it a point to revisit mine every 3 to 5 years, or after any significant life event like a new grandchild, a major purchase, or a change in health. This ongoing commitment ensures that your documents always reflect your current desires and provide the most up-to-date protection. It's a proactive measure, a simple act of maintenance that guarantees your voice remains clear and strong, no matter what the future holds. Ultimately, confronting these hard truths and taking action isn't a morbid task. It's one of the most profound acts of love and care you can offer your family. When you clearly document your wishes, you remove an immense burden from their shoulders. You prevent arguments, alleviate guilt, and provide a roadmap for them during what will undoubtedly be a difficult time. You give them the gift of clarity, allowing them to grieve and remember you with peace, knowing they are honoring your true desires. Are you ready to give your family this ultimate gift? Are you ready to transform potential confusion and strife into a legacy of clarity, harmony, and enduring love? The power to choose that legacy is entirely yours. Looking back at the journey we've taken through these 4 hard truths, the illusion of time, the weight of undecided wishes, the unforeseen medical crossroads, and the irreversible legacy, it becomes clear, doesn't it? This isn't just about paperwork or legalities. It's about the profound power of your decisions, or your indecisions. These documents are a reflection of a life well lived, an intentional life that values clarity, compassion, and control. It's about ensuring your voice echoes long after you're gone, guiding your loved ones and affirming the life you chose. I won't pretend it was an easy process for me. There were moments of discomfort, moments where I wanted to push it all aside. But having finally completed my own will and healthcare directives, I can tell you, the relief is immense. There's a quiet confidence that settles in your heart when you know you've done everything possible to protect your family and honor your own wishes. That peace of mind, for me, has been truly invaluable. It was worth every effort, every difficult conversation, every moment of contemplation. Now, it's your moment of decision. After hearing these truths, ask yourself honestly, is doing nothing truly what's best for you and your family? Or is it just what seems easiest right now? Because inaction has its own, often far steeper, price. A price paid in confusion, conflict, and lost dignity. You have the power to choose clarity over chaos, peace over pain. Are you ready to seize that power and shape your future and your legacy with confidence? Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us and to others in this community, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement to continue this work. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.